Evan Hale clamped his hand around the alien woman's wrist and dragged her limp body over the threshold. Her blood-smeared claws scraped the metal floor. He slammed the door shut with his boot heel. The hallway camera outside whirred. Too late, she groaned, a low rasp like grinding gears. Purple blood oozed from a gash across her abdomen. Her black armor, etched with kill marks, hummed faintly, power cells flickering. Evan scanned the peephole feed on his wrist pad. Empty corridor. For now, stay down, he muttered. He knelt and propped her against the wall. Her eyes snapped open, golden slits in a face of scaled obsidian skin. Fangs bared. She lunged for the door controls. Click, the locks engaged. Reinforced bolts thudded home. Conceal me, she hissed, voice like shattered crystal. No medics. No scans. Evan blinked. Human instinct screamed call security. But her wound pulsed. Arteries equivalent to his femoral. She'd bleed out in minutes. Concealment first, she growled. Then patch if you must. He nodded once. Practical. Treat the emergency like a busted coolant line. No panic. Evan gripped her armor's chest plate. Magnetic seals hissed open under his thumbs. He peeled it away. Layers of underweave followed, sticky with gore. The gash yawned. 6 inches. Ragged from plasma shrapnel. She tensed but didn't fight. Trust, or too weak. He grabbed his med kit from the utility shelf. No time for niceties. Steri spray hissed over the wound. She hissed back, claws flexing. Name's Evan. Yours? Veyrasarn. Her gaze locked on his. You hide me, human. Hunters come. Evan pressed a trauma patch. It sealed with a sizzle. Purple blood slowed to a trickle. Why me? He knotted a compression bandage tight. No give. She coughed. Random door. You acted. No questions. Fair. He stripped the last armor panels. Gauntlets. Greaves. Blood-soaked everything. He bundled them into an evac bag, sealed it with nanotape, and shoved it under the sink trap. Evidence gone. Apartment smelled of ozone and copper now. Dara shifted, testing the patch. It held. She eyed him. Wary calculation. Bargain, she said. I live, you get my list. Targets. Corrupt marshals. Syndicate lords. Names worth billions in bounties. Evan wiped his hands on a rag. Hung it neat. No. Her ridges flared. Refuse death credits? Insane. Not insane. I fix things, not kill. He taped the bag shut tighter. You stay hidden. No lists. No deals. She stared. Golden eyes narrowed. Marshals track me galaxy-wide. Veyrasarn, blade of the Void clans. They burn stations for less. Evan checked his wrist pad. Alert pinged. Sector lockdown. Drones inbound. Then we move smart. He crossed to the kitchenette. Powered down the fridge hum. Lights dimmed to emergency red. She pushed upright. Wobbled. Grabbed his arm for balance. Claws pricked skin. Retracted fast. Trust, flicker, or survival. His wrist pad chirped. Neighbor cam feed. Neela Bex from 12B peeked out her door, nosy as always. Evan? You hear that thump? Evan muted the intercom. Ignore her. Veyra's nostrils flared. Scenting, she saw. Not you. He yanked the power conduit from the wall panel. Sparks danced. Apartment network flatlined. No signals out. No scans in. Hallway drone whine swelled. Red beams swept past his door slit. Veyra dropped to a crouch behind the couch. Evan mirrored her. Silent. Drone paused. Scanned. Occupant 12A. Report anomaly. Evan's voice modulator kicked in. Preset for maintenance calls. Fixed it. Conduit surge. Pause. Verify ID. He flashed his tech cert via manual port. No network needed. Clear. Drone hummed away. Veyra exhaled. You think fast. Job skill. Evan peered out. Clear. For now. She leaned closer. Heat radiated from her scales. Why? Humans flee killers. Not all. He met her gaze. Steady. Fixed your leak. Now fix the hunt. Footsteps echoed. Boots. Heavy. Martial tread. Evan froze. Veyra's hand gripped his forearm. Claws sheathed. Partnership sealed. The knock rattled the door. Maintenance tech Hale? Open up. Routine sweep. Evan's pulse stayed even. He glanced at Vera. She nodded. Hide deeper. He rose slow. Practical protection. No credit sought. Door cracked. Marshal Cade Rusk loomed. Cybernetic eye glowing. Anomaly reported. Step aside. Evan blocked the gap. Calm. Power glitch. Handled. Rusk's eye whirred. Scanning. Missed the shadows. Neat work. Rusk grunted. Bex, said Thump. Blood. Leaky faucet. Evan shrugged. Plumbing's old. Rusk leaned in. Sniffed. Avra. Smells off. Vera shifted silent behind him. Evan's back blocked her heat signature. Rusk pulled back. Stay put. Full sweep inbound. Door sealed. Evan exhaled. Vera rose. He returns. Yeah. Evan checked vents. Escape routes mapped in his head. We prep. She tilted her head. Alien wonder flickered. You protect without gain. Gains later. He handed her a spare jumpsuit, his size baggy on her lithe frame. Trust builds slow. Her claws brushed his as she took it. First crack in armor. Hallway drones multiplied. Whines overlapped. Evan powered the hidey hole panel. Underfloor maintenance crawl space. In. Now. Vera ducked low. Slid inside. Turned. Extended a hand. You too. He hesitated. Apartment forfeit? Maybe. Trust pulled him down. Locked the panel. Darkness closed. Her breath synced with his. Rusk's voice boomed outside. Breach. On my mark. Vera whispered. They escalate. Blades out. Evan gripped his multi-tool. Practical. Ready. Her golden eyes gleamed in the gloom. Why risk? 'Cause I fixed you. Simple. She nodded. Warrior respect dawned. Boots stomped closer. Lasers whined charge. Evan tensed. One human. One assassin. Galaxy's hunters at the door. Together? They'd improvise. Boots hammered the floor panels above Evan's head. Dust sifted down. Vera's claws dug into his arm. Light pressure. Alert. Quiet, Evan whispered. He twisted his multi-tool, loosening a vent grate 2 feet away. Airflow first. No suffocation mid-hunt. She nodded. Golden eyes locked on the seams. Lasers whined through the deck plating. Voices barked coordinates. Evan fed a flexible tube from the main duct into her mouthguard. Breathe steady. Filters the ozone. Vera inhaled. Exhaled silent. Her gaze sharpened. Appraisal, not panic. Lasers swept past. Boots retreated. Clear, Evan murmured. He pried the panel lock. Dim apartment light spilled in. Out. Slow. She slid free. Lithe frame uncoiling like a spring. Blood crusted her side wound. His patch job holding. Evan scanned the room. Drones hummed in the hall. No breach yet. Stay low. He pulled her behind the kitchen bulkhead. Crawl space is base. We fortify. Vera crouched, scanning walls. Exits. Her voice rasped, alien accent clipping vowels. Evan pointed. Vent to laundry chute. Service ladder to roof. Why toolkit blocks scans. He dragged a sealant kit over. Foam hissed as he sealed secondary seams. Airflow hummed steady. She traced sight lines with a claw. Door, window, hall feed, blind spot here. Tapped the bulkhead. They breach. I strike. No. Evan blocked her path to the door. Hunters first. You second. Routine sells it. He stood, straightened his jumpsuit. Paced to the fabricator. Morning, coffee, work shift, lunch drone. Demonstrated, poured synth brew, sipped. Checked a panel, normal tech life. Vera mimicked, stiff at first, claws retracted. They watch patterns, exactly. Evan nodded. Break 'em, we win. Drones buzzed closer. He froze her with a hand signal. Waited, they passed. She tilted her head. You plan like prey that bites. Prey survives. Evan checked his pad. Delivery queue blinked, noise cover next. He patched the building net. Rerouted neighbor packages, Bex's groceries, floor 3's parts, to his slot. Timed bursts. Clatter masks steps. First drone arrived. Evan signed for it. Crates thudding loud. Vera ghosted to the fresher during the racket. Water cycled. Wound cleaned. Second wave. More crates. He stacked them casual, blocking hall cam angles. Vera emerged. testing floorboards for creaks. Silent, Neela Bex poked her head in during the third drop. Evan, your deliveries again? Plumbing fixed? Leaks patched. He shifted, eclipsing Vira's shadow. Crate clanged. Perfect cover. Yours tomorrow. Bex squinted. Heard thumps. Rusk's crew around? Maintenance. Evan smiled bland. Standard. She shrugged, retreated. Door hissed shut. Vera watched from the bulkhead.
She suspects. Not yet.
Evan sealed the last crate. We move you now. He guided her back to the crawl space, unsealed a false panel, his emergency stash. Rations, med gel, breather mask. 2 days here. I fetch intel. She knelt but paused, claws flexed. From her belt sheath, she drew a monoblade. Edge hummed faint blue. Galaxy-famous killer's tool, placed the hilt in his palm. Cold, heavy. Test. Vera's eyes bored in. Kill me. Or swear. Evan gripped it. Thumb tested balance. Practical weapon. Vibra core. Auto-sharpen. Her neck pulsed bare inches away. One thrust. Clean. She waited. Expectant. Warrior's final play. He flipped it. Stashed it in his tool belt pouch. Zipped shut. No killing in my home. Vera blinked. Golden irises widened. You refuse death gift? Rule 1. Evan met her stare. Hide here. Heal. We talk after. She rose slow. Claws sheathed. Humans defy. First real crack. Voice softened. Drones whined again. Evan checked the pad. Rusk's signature pinged the lobby.
Escalation. Back in.
He boosted her down. Sealed the panel. Footsteps echoed. Bex chatting with marshals. Evan brewed coffee. Paced routine. Door chimed. Rusk filled the frame. Bulkier up close. Tracker implants glinting. Full consent search. Step aside. Evan waved him in. Go ahead. Faucets fixed. Rusk swept with a scanner wand. Beeped cabinets. Vents. Paused at the bulkhead. Crawl space? Maintenance only. Evan leaned casual. Locked protocol. Rusk grunted. Tested the panel. Locked solid. Open it. Building code. Evan tapped his pad. Supervisor key needed? I call? Rusk's jaw tightened. Eyed the stacked crates. Deliveries? Plumbing parts. Evan shrugged. Old pipes. Vera's heat masked by his rigged baffles. Clear. Rusk holstered. Witnesses report alien? You see? Nope. Evan sipped coffee. Just work. Boots retreated. Door sealed. Evan exhaled. Pad chimed. Roof cam feed. Drones circled. Nyla Bex lingered in the hall, whispering to a junior marshal. Vera's voice filtered faint through the grate. She talks. Yeah. Evan knelt, unsealed a crack. Time to move you deeper. She slid out, grabbed his arm. Firm, not claw. Why this? I slaughter worlds. Fixed you first. Evan rigged a sling for her wound. Now we fix the rest. Her gaze held. Warrior fire banked to something new. Trust flicker. Together? Drones banked sharp. Rusk's voice boomed net wide. Perimeter lock. Suspect cornered. Evan pulled her to the service ladder. Roof. My shuttle's cloaked. She climbed, lithe despite pain. He followed. Stars wheeled above the habdome. Shuttle hummed live. Alarms blared below. Bex pointed up. Silhouette caught. Go! Vera shoved him aboard. Blade pouch slapped his belt. He'd kept it. Evan powered up. Thrusters whispered. Cloak engaged. Rusk's hunter ship rose fast, locked on. Vera strapped in. Fight? No. Evan banked hard, outsmart. He dumped the delivery crates, decoy chaff. Drones scattered. Hunter ship veered, pursuit broken. Vera laughed. Sharp, alien. Prey that flies. Evan grinned. Welcome to human improv. Jump drive spooled. Stars streaked, but Rusk's ping trailed faint. Hunt far from over. Fist hammered on Nyla Bex's door across the hall. Marshal Cade Rusk, interstellar enforcement, open for scan. Evan Hale froze mid-step. Vera's slit pupil eyes locked on his from the crawl space grate under the kitchen counter. Blood seeped through her fresh bandage. She nodded once. Ready. Silenced the breather. Evan whispered. His voice stayed level, like diagnosing a faulty coolant line. Her clawed fingers tapped the rig's mute node. This cut dead. Silence swallowed the apartment. Neela's door hissed open. Marshal, what's this about? Standard sweep. Vyra Sarn. 7-foot killer. Blade specialist. Last ping here. Step aside. Evan crouched, palm flat on the grate. Stay low. No twitch. Thayra's tail flicked once. She coiled tighter, shadows eating her indigo scales. Scanner whine pierced the hall, high-pitched, methodical sweeps. Rusk's voice droned. Network activity? Unusual heat signatures? Neela stammered. Just my evening syncast. And Evan's always tinkering. Shuttle parts, you know. Maintenance tech? Yeah, fixes everything. Quiet guy. Boots scraped. Scanner whined closer. Evan stood, palmed the door release. No rush, hands loose at sides. He cracked the seal, 2 inches, body filling the frame, sightline blocked clean. Chime blared, override demand flashed on his pad. Open full, Rusk barked. Broad shoulders filled the hall light, human, but modded. Cybernetic eye glowed red. Arm bracer hummed with charge. Evan thumbed the panel wider, just enough. Hands rose slow, palms out. Empty. Maintenance bay 12. Evan Hale. Evening, Marshal. Rusk's eye whirred, scanning Evan's face against a hollow warrant. Veyra's image spun above his bracer. Fangs bared, blades dripping. Seen this? Evan met the gaze. No blink. Net news. She's ghosted 3 systems. You locking the dome? Perimeter's live. Drones inbound. Rusk leaned in. Shoulder checked the frame. Nose almost crossed the threshold. Full access. Now. Evan shifted half-inch left, still blocked the angle to the grate. Building code 47B. Resident privacy during admin sweeps. Logs route through Hab Central. Rusk's jaw tightened. Override pending. Step aside. Admin first. Policies ironclad. Union backed. Evan kept voice even. Like talking down a sparking relay. Fixed their servers last cycle. They hate waivers. Cyber eye pulsed, scanned Evan's torso. Clean, unusual pings from this unit. Heat bloom, explain, shuttle manifold test. Overclocked for stress. Logs time-stamped. Evan nodded to his pad on the counter. Visible, innocent. Want the serial? Cross-check central. Rusk's bracer beeped. Data pull request pinged Evan's network. Evan swiped approve. Surface layer only. Manifests. No deep cams. Clear, Rusk grunted, but he lingered. Foot tapped the threshold. Neighbor says you tinker late. Visitors? Neela chats too much. Evan smiled faint. No teeth. Solo shift tomorrow. Dome lockdown bites. Rusk's hand twitched to his sidearm. Grip flexed. Apartment turned killbox in a heartbeat. One word from Neela's loose lips. One glitch in Veyra's silence. Breather stayed mute. Veyra's shadow didn't stir. Full scan, Rusk said, pushed forward. Evan braced the frame casual. Admin ping them. 5 minutes. Stall. Drones hummed distant. Roof feed blinked on his pad, closing. Rusk's eye darted past Evan's shoulder. Kitchen empty. Couch rumpled. No blood trail. Nyla poked from her door. Evan, you see anything? That assassin's worth a bounty. Quiet, Bex, Rusk snapped. She flinched back. Evan caught it. Liability. She means well. Don't chatter. Bracer beeped again. Central denied full access. Policy glitch, the marshal muttered. Stepped back, but as he turned, fingers brushed his belt pouch. Micro-tracker gleamed. Fist-sized. Adhesive. Evan clocked it. Slid one boot forward, blocked the drop line. Rusk palmed the device. Casual flick. It stuck under the threshold lip. Cam, ping, motion trigger. Invisible in the seam. Stay inside, Rusk said. Curfew live. Boots thudded away. Scanner whine faded to Neela's door. Evan sealed his. Bolts chunked home. Exhale slow. Grate scraped. Vyra slid out low. Claws gripped his calf. Firm anchor, not threat. He plants? Yeah, Evan knelt. Pried the tracker free with a multi-tool. Crushed its core. Sparks died. Routine tail. Her ridges flared. Amusement, you block. Command silence. Why? Fixed the leak first. He resealed her wound patch. Tight, efficient. Now the hunt. She gripped harder. Warrior fire dimmed to spark. Slaughterer trusts fixer. Drones buzzed louder. Pad chimed. Roof feed. Circles tightening. Evan yanked the service panel. Ladder dropped. Trust the climb. Roof shuttles cloaked. Vera hauled up. Lithe pull despite the gash. Evan followed. Stars pierced the hebdome above. Alarms wailed net wide. Rusk's boom. Perimeter lock. Suspect cornered. Neela's voice filtered up. Whisper to a junior marshal. Evan's place, heat bloom, he said. Move. Evan shoved Vera into the shuttle bay. Her blade pouch slapped his belt. He'd pocketed it earlier, kept her armed. Thrusters hummed live. Cloak shimmered on. Hunter ship rose below. Locked ping hit. Vera strapped tight. Fight? No. Evan banked sharp. Dumped decoy crates. Chaff burst. Drones veered wild. Rusk's ship twisted pursuit. Missed the cloak. Jump drive spooled. Stars blurred. Vera's laugh cut sharp. Alien edge. Prey flies clever. Evan grinned. Ping trailed faint. Human standard. But the marshal escalated. Dome breach klaxons screamed. Backup ships lit the net. 3 vectors, closing fast. Eased power to 20%. No burn, just ghost. Vera scanned scopes. They fan. Net him in. Known. He patched a dummy signal. Ghost rig from his kit. Bounced it off a freighter wake. Bait drops. Her claws tapped console. Respect flicker. You improv. Worlds burn for less. Appliances too. Evan watched the dummy ping draw fire. Rusk's lead ship bit hard. Silence stretched. Trust settled quiet. Then her comm crackled. External hack. Rusk's voice. Ale. Sarn's profile matches your heat. Stand down. Bounty splits even. Evan killed the channel. He guesses. Vera's tail curled near his leg. Anchor. We split? Outsmart first. He spooled secondary jump asteroid shadow. Your blade's my shuttle. She nodded. Fire rekindled. Together slays. Rusk's ping ghosted closer. Escalation live. Evan punched it. Void swallowed them, but the tracker crumb he'd let live. Backup ping. Hunt locked eternal. Shuttle hummed deep space. Vera unbound her sling. Tested claws. Next port? Neutral yard. Fix the wound proper. Evan plotted course. Hunter's lag. She leaned close. Breath warm alien spice. You shelter killer. Risk all. Fixed you. Allies improv better. Gaze held. Trust sealed. Not flicker now. Flame. Net pinged warning. Rusk's fleet mobilized. Full galaxy dragnet. Evan smiled. Welcome to the long fix. Jump primed. Stars awaited. Vera's hand on his shoulder. Human prey leads. They jumped. Trail burned hot behind. Hours blurred in slip space. Evan monitored baffles. Vera cleaned her blades. Ritual scrape. Oil sheen. Evan's fingers pried open the shuttle's secondary console. A faint red pulse winked from the wiring nest. Micro tracker. Rusk's crumb. Left alive as bait. He snatched it, dashed to the engine bay, and crushed it inside the humming motor housing. Sparks died silent. No ping back. Vera watched from the co-pilot seat. Claws retracted. Her wounded arm hung in the sling he'd rigged. Clever kill. Standard debugged. Evan sealed the panel. Shuttle dropped from slip space. Thrusters firing toward Epsilon Yard. Neutral station. His old maintenance haunt. Docks loomed. Cluttered with freighters and repair drones. We land quiet. Patch you up. She flexed her tail. Eyes on the scanner ghosts trailing far behind. Syndicate wants me alive. Shadow cartel. Bounty. 10 million credits. Intact neural core. They need my memories. Hits on their bosses. Evan banked the shuttle into a berth. Clamps locked. Memories buy time. We scrubbed the rest. He powered down, grabbed his medkit. Airlock hissed open to the yard's clamor. Welders sparking, loaders beeping. Fyra followed, hood up, limping on her clawed feet. They slipped into his maintenance bay, a cramped workshop stacked with parts bins and tool racks. His apartment adjoined upstairs, neighbor Neela next door, safe enough for now. He guided her to the cot in the corner. Strip the bandage. Show me the wound. She peeled synth skin away. Purple flesh gaped. infection threads spidering out. Evan swabbed, injected broad-spectrum nanomeds. Her flinch was minimal. Warrior steel. Cartel hits back hard, she said. Rusk's just the leash. Fixed worse leaks. He taped fresh dressing. Rest. I'll cook. Evan hit the galley stove. Protein slab sizzled in the pan. Earth beef analog, spiced simple. Galaxy rations tasted like paste to her kind. He'd gauged that from her grimace earlier. He plated it with greens, slid it over. Test this. Vera speared a chunk with a claw, sniffed it down. Eyes widened, tail flicked once. Heat blooms, no ash. Adjusts to symptoms. He watched her chew steady, no nausea twitch. Good. He dosed her next painkiller, half-tab, based on her steady pulse and clear eyes. Meds dialed. Eat slow. She devoured half, then paused. Humans feed killers. You earned it. Evan ate his own plate standing, scanner pinging clean. Trust built in bites. Door chime buzzed. Nyla's voice through the intercom. Evan, saw your shuttle dock. Power flux in the hall again. Evan froze. Nyla Bex, nosy neighbor, key-coded from last outage. She poked in unannounced, always did. Vera tensed behind the parts rack, claws sliding free. Clear line to the door. One strike. Neela gone. Stay hidden, Evan whispered. Firm. Vera's eyes locked his. She nodded once, claws stilled. He hit the door release. Neela bustled in, curly hair wild, tablet in hand. Lights flickering upstairs. Your fix? Routine inspection. Evan blocked her path to the back. Toolkit out. He waved the scanner wand over the hall panel outside. Overload relay. See? Fake readings flashed green to red. Neela peered, oblivious. Again. You're a wizard, Evan. What's that smell? Cooking for one? Batch for the crew. He popped the panel. Twisted wires, real spark for show. Fixed. Test the lights. She flicked the hall switch. Steady glow. Hero, as usual. No fanfare. Nyla grinned, leaned in. Herd hunters in system. You docking hot? Evan's jaw tightened. Vera's shadow shifted minutely behind the rack. Patience carved in muscle. Old cargo run. Clear. Neela lingered, eyes darting to the cot's rumple. Quiet in here. Alone. Shift lag. He herded her out, toolkit clanking. Door sealed. Breath out. Vera emerged. Claws sheathed. Easy prey. Ended. You held. Evan reset the panel. Because I asked. Debt tallies. Her tail brushed his boot. Anchor, not threat. Trust your lead. Scanner pinged. Rusk's voice crackled through a ghost channel. Hail. Yard cams caught your dock. Sarn's limp matches. Evac, or we breach. Evan killed it. Escalation. They close? Vera checked her blades. Oil slick clean. Fleet hour out. He grabbed the medkit. Upstairs. My place. Better baffles. They climbed the access ladder. Apartment door bolted triple. He patched the walls with jammer foil. Old maintenance trick. She settled on the bunk, wound seeping less. Evan brewed tea. Caffeine kick for her metabolism. Sip. Keeps fever down. Vera took it. Steam curling. Cartel bounty specifies alive. Rusk switches lethal if I bolt. Procedure breaks. Evan plotted evac on his pad. Smuggler's lane to outer rim. We fly tandem. Your blades, Scout. My nav evades. Her laugh rasped low. Human prey plays long. Station alarms wailed distant dock breach. Rusk's hunters inbound. Evan shouldered the pack. Time. Vera rose fluid, sling discarded. Claws gleamed. Together slays.
They slipped out the back vent. Mila's door hummed past, curiosity contained.
Yard boiled. Enforcer drone swarming berths. Rusk's silhouette barking orders on the main catwalk. Evan, crouched behind a cargo crate. Vera beside. Breath synced. Her hand gripped his arm. Flame, steady. Rusk's boot scraped close. Scanner swept. One twitch. She could gut him. Hold, Evan breathed. She did. Blade hilt warm in restraint. Drone whirred overhead. Missed them. Rusk moved on. Evan punched the shuttle override. Engines hot. They sprinted. Boarding ramp clanged shut. Thrusters roared. Yard shrank. Rusk's ship detached. Pursuit locked. Evan grinned. Long fix continues. Vera's tail curled near the stick. Your improv burns worlds. Slip space swallowed them. But yard cams? One frame lingered. Nyla's window light flicked on. She'd seen. Det called back. Sirens shrieked through the vents. Marshal Rusk's voice boomed from every speaker. Hab block Delta. 7 lockdown. Portable field gates deploying at all exits. Vera Sarn is contained. Cooperate or face charges. Evan killed the power to his unit with a single flip. Lights died. Fans whirred to silence. Vera's cot hissed, her portable med unit starving for juice. Airflow drops in 30. She rasped from the shadows. Claws scraped the frame. Wound sealant gleamed wet on her side. Evan cracked the access panel. Fuses sparked under his multi-tool. He bridged the manual bypass with scavenged wire. Current hummed alive. Med unit fans spun steady. Fixed. He wiped sweat. Gates seal us in. Scanners next. Vera slid off the cot. Tail flicked pain away. Emitters hummed through walls. I scout voids. She pried a vent grate. Slipped inside like smoke. Evan crouched at the hole. Watched her shadow glide. Chitin plates rasped soft against insulation. Minutes ticked. Her claw tapped code on his pad. 3 emitters, base joints weak. Overload pulse fries them. Evan nodded. Pulled the grate shut. Mark spots. I rigged decoy first. He dragged the space heater from storage. Old model. Coils red hot in seconds. Wedged it behind the water pipes in the kitchen bulkhead. Pipes ran hot now. Steam traced the grid. Thermal bloom spiked on his scanner mock-up. Mimicked 2 bodies huddled. Scans red heat. Mass, he muttered. They chase ghosts. Vera emerged. Dust clung to her scales. Marks done. Red points on your walls. Evan traced them. Laser-etched scratches glowed under his light. Precise. Your eyes cut cleaner than tools. She bared fangs. Hunt lifetimes. Yours improvised traps. Door chime buzzed. Neela Bex. Again. Evan froze. Vera melted into the bedroom void. Ev? Power out here too, Neela's voice muffled. Heard the lockdown. You okay? He cracked the door. Chain latched. Fine, Neela. Generator glitch. Her eyes darted past. Nosy as always. Sirens said assassin. That Sarn killer? Saw enforcers swarm the yard earlier. You hear anything? Evan blocked the view. Just noise. Fixing my breakers. She leaned closer. Marshall's grilling folks. Said cams caught movement from your vents. Funny, right? Pulse jumped. Neela's window light. She'd glimpsed them slipping out before. Now this. Maintenance routes, he said flat. Old building. Neela smiled too wide. Yeah. Stay safe. Buzz if you need help. Door clicked shut. Footsteps faded. Vera hissed from dark. She reeks curiosity, liability. Evan barred the door. Contain it. Rusk escalates soon. Pad pinged. External feed hacked. Rusk paced the lobby below. Squad fanned out. Standard scan negative. Shift lethal protocol. Drones into vents. Neutralize on site. Drones whirred launch. 6 armed specs. Barrels glowing. Evan's gut tightened. They breach airways. Your voids. Vera's claws extended. I got them. No. He grabbed toolkit. Maze time. He yanked ceiling panels, rerouted duct baffles with clamps, created dead-end loops, fused a great shot, drone bait. Then the decoy amp. Heater cranked, pipes sweating full signature. First drone buzzed his intake. Sensors pinged hot. It dove in. Evan slapped the bypass shut. Airflow rerouted around it. Drone thrashed. Hit baffle wall. Sparks flew. Offline. Vera watched, eyes wide. Traps from scrap. Humans layer death quiet. Practical. He sealed another path. Keeps you breathing. Second drone probed bedroom void. Vera waited. Still as stone. It scanned her marks. The emitters hummed close. Passed. Evan punched override on the main breaker. Selective power surge. Lights flickered building wide. Drones glitched midair. Rusk barked below. Interference. Source Unit 14B. Boots thundered stairs. Neela's door hummed open. Marshall? I saw. Her voice cut. Questioned, Evan sweated. Vera gripped his shoulder. Claws pricked light. Trust sealed in grip. Third drone breached kitchen. Heat decoy pulled it. Pipes scalded casing. It overheated. Dropped smoking. 2 down, Evan whispered. Rusk's fist hammered neighbor doors. Open for scan. Neela's chime now. Evan? Marshall wants words. Vera tensed. Blade hilt gleamed in her palm. Evan eyed emitter marks. Weak points pulsed. One surge fries gates. We bolt. She nodded. Flame in gaze. Your maze holds. My kill clears. Fist rattled his door. Rusk's shadow loomed. Hail, open up. Evan palmed the overload tool. Wire sparked ready. Nyla piped up outside.
He seemed jumpy earlier, Marshal. Vents from his unit.
Betrayal stung. Det called in. Drone whine swelled. More inbound. Vera's tail curled battle ready. Now? Evan breathed steady. Almost. Rusk's scanner whined at the seal. Breach charge prepped. One twitch. Maze or slaughter. Evan hit the surge. Emitters fried. Gates flickered down. Chaos erupted. Rusk's breach charge hissed. The door seal glowed red. Evan yanked Vera toward the kitchen vent. Ducked run. Now. She dropped low. Claws scraped metal as they crawled. Drone whine pierced the surge static. First hunter drone burst through the fried emitter date. Its scan beam swept the living room. Evan wedged into a side duct. Cramped. Pipes groaned under his shoulders. He palmed the maintenance magnet from his belt, foam sealant canister ready. Here, Kitty. He rattled a loose grate. The drone pivoted, red eye locked. It dove into the duct mouth. Evan slapped the magnet to its chassis. Thunk. Servos whined, stuck fast. Foam hissed out. White sealant ballooned around the drone's thrusters. It bucked. Sparks flew. Evan kicked back. The drone choked. Overheated fans seizing. It plummeted into the duct abyss, smoking. One, he whispered. Vira's tail brushed his boot. She ghosted ahead. Second drone breached the hallway. This one packed a stunner arm. Operator Link pulsed blue on its flank. She sprang from a ceiling hatch. Blade flashed. The drone fired wild. Vera twisted midair. Her claws sheared the control link clean. No kill shot. The operator's feed severed. Remote pilot went blind. The drone hovered confused. Vera batted it into a wall. It crumpled. Mercy for the tool, she growled, not the hand. Evan nodded. Trust clicked deeper. Her code matched his pragmatism. Rusk bellowed outside. Unit 14B, clear. Fan out. Boots split. Some upstairs, others down. Nyla's voice piped shrill. Marshal, Evan's door. It's venting smoke. Door rattled harder. Evan cursed. Neighbor Det turned liability. He cracked the vent grate, peered out. Nyla hovered in the hall. Bathrobe clutched. Eyes wide. Evan? She called. What's burning? He slid out. Grabbed her elbow, gentle but firm. Neela, stairwell. Now. Her slippers shuffled.
But the Marshal. Gas leak. Building evac.
Told Rusk already. Lie flowed smooth. No cracks. He steered her past Rusk's team. One hunter glanced up. Evan met eyes, nodded casual. Ma'am's got asthma. Clear the air. Hunter waved them through. Stairwell door clanged shut. Neela blinked. You okay? Fixed it. Stay down 3 floors. Fire team's coming. He pressed the lockdown button. Sealed her safe. She squeezed his arm. Thanks, Evan. You're a rock. Door boomed shut. He exhaled. One threat neutralized. Back inside, they were crouched by the window. Tail lashed. Hunters converge. Your neighbor bought seconds. Rusk's scanner whined at the door seal. Breach in 10! Evan scanned the room. Riot panel, scavenged from last riot drill. Heavy ballistic weave. He hefted it. Plan B. You draw, I flank. She eyed him, flame in her gaze banked to steel. No, you hide. I end this. Her wounded flank bled fresh. Emitter burns pulsed weak. She was legend for a reason. Lethal, precise. But human compassion burned hotter. He blocked her path. Partners. Maze is mine. Kill is yours. Vera paused. Claws flexed, then nodded. Trust sealed. She ghosted to the fire escape, kicked the window latch, leapt into open air. Rusk, your prey stands. Rusk spun. Rifle snapped up. Sarin, surrender. She dropped 2 stories, landed cat grace on the alley pavement. Blade out, no cover. Pure bait. Hunters pivoted. Fire team poured shots. Vera danced, deflected 1 slug, vaulted a dumpster, drew them from Evan's door. Rusk advanced. Methodical. Flank her. No escape. Evan slipped the back hall. Riot panels slung like a shield. Part steady. Emergencies were appliances. Fixed the brake. He hit the alley mouth. Vera spun from a stunner blast. Rusk lined the kill shot. Perfect bead on her exposed back. Evan charged. Panel forward. Slug slammed home. Riot weave held. Cracked but absorbed. Vera whirled. Eyes locked his. She exposed herself to save him, and he broke cover to save her back. Rusk snarled. Civilian down. Lethal force. Vera lunged. Her blade arced for Rusk's rifle. Evan pivoted the panel. Blocked the flank hunter's follow-up. They synced. Her speed, his bulk. A drone swarm crested the roof. Fresh wave. Rusk barked retreat. Regroup. She's cornered. But Vera grinned fangs, not with him. Evan yanked her behind the panel. Service tunnels. My lead. They bolted into the underbelly. Rusk's roar faded. Trust forged in fire. But hunters adapted fast. Escalation loomed. Deeper in. Vera slumped against a pipe. Wound wept. Why shield the killer? Evan tore his shirt, bound the burn tight. Killer needs proof. Actions talk. Her claw gripped his wrist. Light prick. Then run. They mark you now. He met her gaze. We run together. Sirens wailed above. Lockdown breached. Rusk's voice crackled comms. Hales compromised. Full sweep. Evan pulled a junction map. Old freight lift. Bypasses their net. Vera rose. Blade sheathed. Flame reignited. Lead protector. They plunged into the dark. Pipe stripped. Drones buzzed distant. Nyla's face flashed. Curiosity turned risk. She'd talk. Spread word. Evan jury-rigged the lift controls. Sparks flew. Gears ground alive. Doors parted to undercity gloom. Vera scanned shadows. Your calm unnerves hunters. They expect rage. Not this. Repairs don't panic. He hit descend. Lift shuttered down. She leaned close. Heat radiated. Legend flees with tech. Galaxy whispers of worse. Rusk's team hit the alley. Scanners pinged. Signal trace. Tunnels. Evan grinned faint. Whispers lie. We fight smart. Lift hit bottom. Freight doors groaned open. Undercity sprawl waited. Alleys smuggle runs, no gates. Freedom edged near. But a shadow stirred. Third hunter team. Ambush primed. Vera drew blade. My turn. Evan hefted panel. Ours. They charged into the fray. Slug fire ricocheted. Vera carved a path. Evan shielded breaches. One hunter dropped rifle. Surrendered wide-eyed. Human wall, too solid. Impossible, the hunter gasped. You're just maintenance. Evan didn't gloat, pushed past. Competence spoke. Rusk's voice boomed, amplified. Sarn. Hail. Dead end. Not yet. Vera vaulted a barricade. Evan covered. Trust absolute. They burst into a storm drain mouth. Water rushed. Exit to sprawl. Vera halted, turned. Claws framed his face. Dead eternal. Evan hail. He nodded. Splash behind. Rusk closed. Escalation hit critical. Evan spotted a grate. Flood valve. Pull it. Vera ripped the chain. Torrent roared. Drains surged. Hunters swept back. They swam out. Surface breach. Night air hit cold. Sprawl lights beckoned. Hideouts aplenty. But Rusk adapted. Galaxy's net tightened. Vera leaned on him. Steps synced. Where now? Shipyard. My rig. Off-world jump. Her laugh rasped. Warrior joy. Human maze endless. Trust built. Loyalty locked. But hunters never quit. Crisis peaked. Rusk crested a rooftop. Scope glinted. Target acquired. Rusk's scope flashed. Evan shoved Vera sideways. Plasma bolt scorched the air where her head had been. They dove behind a rusted cargo crate. Shipyard sprawl hummed around them. Cranes whirring, loaders beeping. No time for stealth. Split, Vera hissed, blade already drawn. Evan shook his head, grabbed her wrist. My rig's 2 bays over. Corridor access. He pointed to a shadowed service hatch. Footsteps pounded closer. Rusk's team fanned out. They bolted. Vera limped but matched pace. Evan kicked the hatch open. Dim corridor lights flickered on. Pipes hissed overhead. They sprinted down the narrow tube, walls vibrating from engine tests. Rusk's voice echoed through a calm grate. Hail, Sarin. Protocols clear. Lethal force authorized. Step out. Evan ignored it. Slid a panel aside. Emergency toolkit spilled. Weld torch. Sealants. He sealed the hatch behind them. Vera leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Wound reopened, staining her scales. Can't run forever, she said. Let me end him. No. Evan patched the seal with quick-drying foam. Hunters multiply. We deal. Alarms blared. Corridor bulkhead ahead buckled. Rusk punched through, stun baton crackling. Tall, armored, eyes cold behind visor. 2 deputies flanked him, rifles raised. Evan stepped forward. Hands up. Empty palms. No weapons. Marshal, Rusk. Stand down. Rusk leveled his baton. Deputies trained sights on Vera, Hale, harboring a galactic fugitive. That's life sentence. Her? Execution docket. Vera tensed. Evan blocked her line. Calm voice. Non-lethal arrest. She's got intel. Syndicate ties. Bigger than bounty. Rusk laughed, short and hard. She's the killer. Blade still warm from her last mark. Step aside. Evan didn't budge. You want a corpse? Fine. But procedure says verify leads first. She's offering testimony. Target data. Pull it up. Deputies shifted. Vera growled low. Rusk's visor narrowed. Data? She tossed a slim data shard from her belt pouch. It skittered across the deck. Evan nodded her on. No sudden moves. Vera spoke, voice gravel rough. Prell Syndicate. Contract on Hale's block. Building breach wasn't random. They own your informants. She tapped her temple implant. Full logs, targets, routes, payoffs, trade for safe extract. His safety. Rusk snatched the shard, slotted it into his gauntlet. Hollow projected. Names, vids, cred trails. Syndicate seals glowed authentic. His jaw tightened. Verified. Krell's been dodging us for cycles. Deputies lowered rifles a fraction. Evan pressed. Bounty's dead. She's a witness now. Custody terms. No execution. Trial transport off-world. No firefight in my yard. Rusk eyed him. Calculated. Your maintenance. Not Marshall's. Why push? Evan shrugged. Fixed worse leaks. People first. Simple truth. No boast. Vera watched Evan. Claws eased. Trust flickered in her gaze. Warrior-sizing ally. Rusk pocketed the shard. Pivot approved. Take down op now. Sarin, you're under arrest. Non-lethal. He cuffed her wrists with energy binders. Loose enough for walk, tight for fight. Deputies grumbled but complied. No shots fired. Evan exhaled. Clear path out. Rusk nodded. Custody escort. Your building's hot. Syndicate rats everywhere. Neela Beck's already talked. Curious neighbor. Saw you two bolt. Evan filed it. Neela's small talk turned liability. Later fix. Walk her to my shuttle bay, Rusk said. No tricks. Evan fell in beside Vera. Corridor stretched long. Her shoulder brushed his. Silent thanks. They emerged into loading docks. Wind whipped from open bays. Shuttles idled. Ramps down. Rusk's team secured perimeter. Vera leaned close, slipped a micro-comm into Evan's pocket. Tiny. Claw-coated. Det eternal hail. Call. I return favor. Her eyes locked his. Warrior promise. No words wasted. Rusk shoved her up the ramp. Witness transport. Ale. Stay clear. Syndicate's coming for you now. Juttle doors hissed shut. Engines flared. It lifted, vanishing into night sky. Evan stood alone. Shipyard lights buzzed. Calm weighed in his pocket. A favor owed. Hunters pivoted, but threats lingered. A shadow moved at dock edge. Nyla Beck's no loader drone. but eyes watched from alleys. Syndicate net closed. He turned toward his rig. Time to vanish. Trust bought time. Loyalty demanded more. Rusk's voice crackled over open comms citywide. Alert. Krell Syndicate breach. All units, converge on Undercity blocks. Hail. Stand by for debrief. Evan slipped into shadows. Not yet. His move. Veyra's calm warmed against his chest. Promise. Burned. But a new ping hit his wrist unit. Anonymous. Hi Yale. We own your neighbor. Talk, or she bleeds. Crisis reignited. Syndicate played dirty. Evan's hands steadied. Tools ready. Protection mode. He keyed the comm. Where? Response snapped back. Your hab blocked. Now. Evan ran. Sprawl swallowed him. No backup. Just competence. Nyla's door loomed in the flickering hab corridor. Syndicate muscle guarded it. 2 bruisers, alien thugs with vibro knives. Evan didn't charge. Slid along pipes overhead. Maintenance access. His domain dropped behind them. Torch ignited, silent. Sealed one's knife hand to the wall. Other spun. Evan's boot cracked his knee. Thugs dropped. No kills. Efficient. Nyla cracked her door. Wide eyes. Evan, what? Quiet? He pulled her inside, barred the door. Syndicate leverage. You saw too much. She nodded, trembling. Hunters, everywhere. Thought you were dead. Not yet. Back exit to vents. Pack light. We move. Sirens wailed outside. Rusk's team swarmed the block. Good distraction. Nyla grabbed a bag. Why help? I'm just nosy. Evan sealed a window breach. Fixed it before. Fix again. Simple. They slipped into vents. Crawl tight. Pipes groaned. Veyra's training echoed. Trust the human maze. Surface breach. Rooftops cold. Shipyard called. His rig waited. Marshal Rusk. Baton holstered. Hell. Debrief. Now. Evan halted. Nyla froze behind. Syndicate hit first. Rusk checked his gauntlet. Nodded. Tracked the ping. You're clean. Sarn's data gold. Raids launching. Relief edged Evan's stance. Nyla's witness too. Rusk eyed her. Protected status. Evac with me. No fight. Pivot. Held. They boarded Rusk's dropship. Engines thrummed. Block receded. Syndicate goons scattered by marshal fire. Veyra's face flickered on a secure feed. Shackled but unbroken. Hail. Neighbor safe? He nodded. Debt building. Her laugh rasped eternal. Rusk cut the feed. She's en route to core worlds. Testimony seals it. Evan leaned back. Crisis crested. Trust forged in fire. But his pocket comm buzzed. Veyra's code. Private ping. Syndicate boss marked you. Watch skies. New threat. Galaxy's net shifted. Humans stayed ready. Loyalty locked. Favor incoming.